check that when we jump on into the game, which is going to be happening right now. And there you go, Liberation up on your screens. As you can see, Avenue starting out on the Axis side, and for Leisure, it's going to be none other than the attacking side.
So when we look at Leisure, first of all, what are we going to be calling the fourth player on their lineup? Call him Man?
No, his name is Fucker.
Yeah. That's, we can say that. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Just so you know, Dean, it does in fact say Fucker. I believe we used to go with the name Fucker, but after consulting with him, I'm told that it's not a polite French name. It is simply Fucker, and that's a terrible knife. As Rejects has been fourth player on Leisured name destroyed. He's been knifed.
Yeah, very quickly taken down by Looney as well. So that's a nice little man advantage for Avenue to work with early on, of course. At this point now, Leisure on the back foot working with a couple carbines. They do still have one smoke in play as well. That's currently Reese that has it in his possession over towards the Marcus. So the real question is right now, where are they going to be bringing this? It seems like B is definitely the most likely option, but where are they going to be placing that smoke? Because Reese isn't in the greatest of positions. Maybe using it to try and actually allow themselves to get in towards that connector and split in towards the bomb site.
Yeah, Avenue have got all the control right now. It is Leisure that have to make that move, and like you said, with that smoke, it can help out. But as Fuckerman gets pistoled to death by Adamello, that's certainly not going to help the situation develop any more positively for the attackers. They've got to make a move eventually, and Reese comes around to try and help out. He's looking for the mid control. He's got himself a carbine as well, a little bit more range capability. Looking for a duel, doesn't find it. Still got that smoke to play with. Hasn't deployed it just yet, but catches a kill. Now the smoke to be used over towards the arch. You can see that one coming, and CDE can see Reese coming. He's coming around to try and find that. Oh no, the gun model blocked it, but double peeked. Not a lot Reese M can do, but at least they get the bomb down, even with the nades coming over, and two of them retreat, leaving it into a 2v4 retake.
Yeah, not going to be easy for them to hold this down, especially as Headbanger, he pretty much instantaneously gets caught off guard there behind. And although Mylan puts up a bit of a fight right there by taking down Lou. Help me with the pronunciation on that one.
Lowy.
Lowy, okay. So yeah, put up a bit of a fight, ended up getting traded out pretty quickly though, so that is Avenue picking up the opening round. And I mean, you would say coming into this that Avenue are the favored in this matchup, I would say.
Yeah, no, I think Avenue would be strong favorites to take it across the line, but Leisure have had their fair share of upsets earlier on. Let's see if they can.
And they've got the skill as well. I mean, they've got the names we recognize, so we cannot forget about that.
Well, I mean, there is that, but of course, Leisure have had these. All the players there have been floating around the scene for quite a while. I mean, you got Reese M. Obviously, we're thinking about him. I think. I'm trying to think. I don't think he's missed a single LAN. Then you got Rejects, Fuckerman, obviously causing a lot of havoc in the online gaming community with his name when it comes to us, and then Headbanger, obviously a very prominent player whenever it's come to a lot of these TOs. But at the end of the day, Avenue are a strong favorite. Leisure just opted for a full-on smoke executed B, and they're getting the bomb plant for it. Trying to bait out nades at first, and they're using up quite a lot of the utility of their enemies.
Yeah, it was just the retake setup from Avenue here on that B bomb site. They were willing to give it up, but we've seen Lifer being able to actually use those smokes to creep in, grab them a man advantage, and now it's just been a bit of a nuisance in this corner, in all honesty. I mean, even if he doesn't get another kill, as long as he can stay alive and just cause an issue right now and allow for his teammates to move in, then this will be looking good. CDE able to grab one quickly, Looney with a great headshot on the Reese as well. And again, it's just all on Myland, a very similar position. This time against 4, has 1 kill to his name so far, and that's all he's going to be limited to. 2-0 right now for Avenue. A convincing round as well, although Leisure getting that bomb down, I think that is a positive that they can be somewhat happy with. They didn't spend all their money, of course, so coming into this one, they will be able to get a pretty solid buy.
Yeah, it's going to be a decent investment to come through from them, and that's the kind of thing, right? You're buying a couple of smokes, you're just rushing into the site and seeing if you can find the bomb plant. They land it. They use up a lot of the utility of Avenue as well. If you play one of these rounds a little bit slower, you'll get a couple of pre-nades going over, but by faking out that bomb plant, you know everybody's going to be lobbing their nades over systematically, and you can waste down a lot of the economy of your opponents, as you can see, reinvesting into full nades coming into this one. But even still, although their token bank is pretty low, they've had some convincing double rounds now for Leisure. It's all about getting it on the board. They've got nades to work with. They've got plenty of utility when it comes over towards the smokes, and then indeed the Garans as well. Much better chances of taking this one across the line. Only 2 bars to make an appearance, but a preference in utility instead, and the aggression that comes down from Adamello early on hasn't netted them a whole lot. The long control being given up.
Yeah, wasn't even really able to connect any shots right there. It looked like it was pretty much a free kill, in all honesty, for Adamello, so a little bit surprising he ends up going down without being able to find anything, and of course now weakens that B-bomb site defense. Early on in this round, it continues to be the situation here for Leisure, where they're just split up, waiting to see if they can maybe catch some aggression. That has worked out, of course, and waiting to see if any more players on that Avenue side will look to maybe push a little bit forward, maybe give them a chance to try and actually extend that advantage. But kind of similar to what we've seen in that first round. They're setting themselves up, taking the market control, having the ability to try and split in towards that B-bomb site, but a nice kill by Looney, returning one quickly. And now time is becoming a bit of an issue. 38 seconds remaining. They'll need to make a decision now about where they're going to end this round.
Well, with the bomb still outside B, it certainly looks like that's where the hit's going to come down. Smoke coming over from Myland, and they're going to start the push on in. Nade over. That's not being spotted by CDE just yet. He sees it, not too late. Actually making it away and surviving his life for holding down Dark. Drops for ECM on the bomb plant and finds a headshot onto Fuckerman. It's all down to a 4 versus 1, and with that, Headbanger is not looking all too good. Finds himself a knife, but that's all he shall get, and it doesn't even net you any bonus cash like it does over in Counter-Strike, where you'll be 1,800. It's a 3-0 for Avenue with
15.
very little losses. Oh, 1,500, sorry.
Just got to correct you. You're meant to be a CSGO caster, Mitch.
I am.
God damn it. 3-0, though.
Numbers have never been my strong suit.
That's why you were studying maths in college.
For a while. That's why I never finished.
Well, you're going back to finish, though, so you can't use that excuse anymore.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, looking pretty solid from Avenue so far, but Leisure, they definitely have the approach. The question is, are they going to be able to start winning out these fights? They had the advantage in the previous round and weren't able to capitalize on it, and this time down by 3 players within seconds of the round beginning. Fuckerman doing what he can, and it may not be enough.
I like that. Fuckerman doing what he can. He comes in with an opening double. That was really nice. Returning the disadvantages that they'd found early on and putting Leisure in a position where it's definitely possible to come back into this. The bomb dropped behind. And obviously, Reject's not able to do a whole lot, and we're going to look for Fucker to find an ace. Definitely going to be a more difficult play to make happen. Starting to make his way down towards their spawn again, but he's pushed in the back from Market, makes it away with his life, and he won't be hunted down just yet. Player coming in through triple. That's a very aggressive move from Lowy, and he gives up another kill. 1 versus 2 with 55 seconds. It's perfectly winnable. Adamello's lurking around, and he's hurt dropping. But even still, Fucker can't find the duel, unfortunately. Adamello walks away with it, and it's 4-0. Avenue building up a convincing bunch of rounds early on.
Yeah, I mean, they had a 3-man advantage within like 10 seconds of that previous round beginning. If it wasn't down to well, I have to say it again, Fucker man. They wouldn't have really found anything at all in that round. It would have been just a clean sweep with the round having just barely begun. So 4-0, Avenue are looking really good here. We said Leisure have had some pretty good performances. They had an upset earlier on, I believe. I cannot recall exactly who that was against, but Looney, 2 nades, or rather 2 kills from the nade being connected, and then Lifer also taking himself a quick headshot on towards Fuckerman. So with that, it leaves it all onto Myland, and it rejects to try and get this one done. As you can see, both of those players rather outside B, they do have the bomb in their possession, but that's really the only positive that you can find at this point.
Fucker was down bottom mid. He had a sniper, came out and just got peeked on the tank by that STG. Nade's coming over. Myland is lucky that it hit that side of the wall. He'll survive to fight another day. He's just been hit from up in top of the window. This is not looking fantastic. They're boxed in. They're spotted. Myland desperately looking for a kill. Can't find the duel. They're watching every single angle, every way out, and using up his nades. It's admirable. It might not get him a whole lot, but at the end of the day, they can pick it up when he dies. And that's the real positive of it. Maybe you find a kill with one of them, but probably not. And 5-0. For Avenue at this point, it's starting to get a little bit out of hand. You know, they're investing into a little bit of utility, but you saw they didn't use up all their nades in that previous. So that's going to leave them netting over quite a couple of coins. And a tactical timeout, I think this is the best time for Leisure to be calling it. They have a choice. Do they want to invest in? They can get Garans right now if they want to. They could go more towards the utility approach if they feel like a faster setup, take bars, but we already see that there's going to be some investment anyways. With there was a Garand, I think, bought up.
Yeah, so far though, Avenue are just making this one look easy. It's all serious business, no time for leisure, I guess you could say.
Well, hey, it's been the early opening duels as well, so it really is no moment to sit back. You can't kind of go, yeah, we'll run out of spawn, spread into defaults and see what happens. Oh, Looney's found a double opening with a nade. Oh, we're being sniped down mid by an STG. It's just not going their way right now.
They're splitting out into that default pretty much every round as well, and as you said, it's just still getting picked off. I mean, maybe they could try something a little bit quicker, but I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. Rejects actually finding an opening kill on the nade. Revenge towards Looney in this round, so that's not a bad start. A man advantage being found, but this isn't the first time that we've seen that man advantage early on in a round for Leisure. We had it back in round number 3, I believe, and of course at that point then very, very quickly brought back by Avenue. Even with that man disadvantage, they do still play well off of each other. It was a good bit of time, 1 minute and 15 seconds. I mean, if Leisure play this correctly, work off of each other, keep themselves in positions where they, at the very least, can get a 1-for-1 trade, then they should be looking good in this round. And there you go, Fuckerman takes out Lifer. A quick headshot being found, takes a second onto CDE, rather, who tries to take a little bit of a peek towards that broken wall, and this round is just completely spiraling for Avenue.
I'm getting very distracted by the karaoke going, ooh, ooh, honey. I hope they can hear that in the mic, otherwise I sound psychotic. Adamello's last alive 1v4. He's dropped a nade over to try and deny that bomb plant. Doesn't look like he's going to find much, though. STG coming around. He's ready for the player to push up, but doesn't find him. Now, Leisure approach this round very differently. They take it slowly. They don't just rush on out of spawn, spread into the default. They wait. They let the nades come over. They let the nades come down, and then they start to move on out, taking a little bit of map control and winning the duels this time after the slower approach. It's working for them, at least for now.
Can they replicate it? That's the main thing, though, because I mean, they won their aim duels in that round.
Sure.
But in the previous 5, they didn't. So
yeah, and the thing here is Avenue, you can get a couple of rounds where you're finding opening nade deals like that. You're catching them off guard with your pre-nades, but eventually you're going to run out of things to catch them off guard with. Yeah. Then it comes down to your knowledge of the map. Then it comes down to aim deals. And like you said, Leisure haven't looked horrendous when it came to aim deals. It's just because they've had so many disadvantages to play with at the start of the round that if, say, a guy is spotted in middle, well, instantly Avenue can dedicate 2 players to taking him down because they're not worried about where the other players are because most of them are dead.
Yeah, I mean, if the players aren't alive, you definitely don't have to worry about them, Mitch.
Good rule of thumb, I have to say.
Oh, Reese actually picks up the opening kill. Not too sure what that was towards. Reese, I believe, he is number 6, so currently located over towards B. He's actually on the bomb site, yeah. Managed to make his way all the way in towards Dark without being, I guess, noticed too much. There's a player up in heaven right now playing from that window, but
he's getting naded as well.
Down. There is a nade on the ground he could also retrieve to work with also. Has one of his own, so technically has 2 nades right now that he can maybe use to try and actually deny that bomb plant. Going to be looking to throw one in a little bit too late, though. And actually manages to catch Booker, man. Yeah, no, that should have been called over, and even then, I feel like he probably should have noticed that bomb, that nade coming in, rather. Louis going to be able to find themselves one, so it's not the end of the round right now, but they definitely could have been in a better position.
Avenue have just been given away back into it by dropping that bomb. It delayed bought them a little bit more time. Now you can see the rotates coming around from A. 2 players up behind. Reject's got to deal with them. Already catches off CDE. Now he's out of there. Doesn't want to force the issue any further. Big, okay. Lifer's gone. Never mind. I was going to say big, a lot of responsibility on Lifer, but he's not going to find a damn thing as Lowy tries to clutch it back 1v2. They know exactly where he is. Got an MP40 to work with, and they're just creating a little bit of range. Actually up close, as I say that, is Myland. But he's standing right behind him. Heard him jump out. Then again have the info to play with. 15 seconds. Not enough time to find both these kills and a defuse. And it's time for him to just run on out of there. Doesn't want to play too greedy for the kills. Doesn't want to be saying give me more, give me more. I don't know any more of the words.
That's
Summer Lovin'.
Yeah.
I won't try singing anymore for the sake of our viewers.
I don't sing. I also don't try and quote lyrics because I always end up getting them wrong. So it's just not worth the effort or the pain.
It really isn't.
5-2 though. Leisure getting themselves another round. Looking a lot better overall here. Are they going to be able to keep this up? We do see, of course, the economy not being amazing for Avenue, so it is mostly just MP40s that they pull out. Lifer down on the SDG. And also nade-wise, not amazing. They have one on Looney, one on the CDE. Looney, he's been successful with it so far, has thrown one out, and there we go. Manages to catch headbangery. So a man advantage again being found for Avenue. This is when they've been very successful. When they have the man advantage, that's when Leisure really struggle to get back into these rounds. And it hasn't been the same case the other way around. Avenue have still been able to make them close, even if they end up having a poor start.
Where's the bangery come from in his name?
That's what's on his jersey.
Oh, is it? Oh, he just says headbanger normally, but...
Oh, he has headbangery on his jersey.
Oh, so I've never even noticed the Y. Fair play, dude.
It's an I think, actually.
Oh, is it? Oh, look at me, making a fool of myself.
Adamello has actually found himself 2 kills in the meantime, though. Creeping right now. Lifer may be able to find something. That player slightly turned around but didn't spot it. Oh my god, there we go. Rejects just about catches Lifer. And actually gives Leisure a pretty good opening now in towards this round. The only issue is he's not really in a position to work off of Reese, who's all the way back in spawn. Although he can kind of creep in towards A right now, or he could maybe creep in behind B. There's 2 players who are very aggressive down towards A long and also in towards the market. So Reese's going to have a bit of a tough time trying to actually get this bomb to a site.
Yeah, completely cut off. It's not the ideal position for Reese to play from, but he knows. He has an idea that they will have gotten aggressive up through tables. You can see he's playing it nice and slow. Again, the timing just caught him off guard. Twice this round now we've seen players just being spotted by someone that wasn't really clear in that angle. Rejects, not a damn chance as Looney's ready for him to run up. MP40 in hand, 6-2. And Avenue finding another round here. It's putting them, again, they're ahead. they're feeling confident about where they're at, but they do still need to continue to lock Leisure out. We've seen Leisure recover. They got caught off guard. I think you can comfortably contribute 3 rounds to just the learning curve of the Allied side. You've got to figure out how they're playing, where they're nading. Once that's out of the way, you got a little bit more comfort to play around. And even still, we've seen that Looney has been successful on the nades round after round.
Yeah, no, I feel like he's been the one who's picked up those open nades each time. I don't really recall anyone else being the one that actually found them. But I'm not too sure. Might not be the case, but Looney has definitely been finding multiple, so great job indeed opening up these rounds. Adamello are going to be able to find Rejects, who was pushed up in through B on his own right there, with not really much help apart from the player over towards Long, who wasn't able to do very much at all until it comes down to a point rather where he is left in that 1 versus 5. They're pushing him together, and you don't expect him to be able to find very much at all. 7-2 for Avenue. It definitely seems like they're on the right avenue to success.
Again, though, their tokens are being kept low, all right? Like, the fact that they're reinvesting into so much utility, it is hurting them.
I feel like that's always the case in Battalion, though.
Yeah, I mean, it is. If you're using your nades, you're going to run out of and winning rounds.
If you're using nades, you're not going to be able to build up money.
Yeah, unless maybe you're on the Allied side and you're coming in with bomb plans.
Yeah.
Can help out a little bit. But yeah, and the thing for Leisure here is they've always got a road back in on the Allied side. Because of that, it's much more forgiving than the likes of CS. But the issue is, it's much more Axis-sided, I feel like, as well. Especially with the fact that you've got that Car 98K in play. It's just so... It's a one-shot weapon at any range to anything, pretty much, bar the little tippy toes. But not only that, then, you're coming in with Lowy. He's already picked up a Garan, and he finds himself a frag with it. Car 98K removed as Lifer falls. So, for Leisure, that trade is pretty important. It opens up mid completely for them. Avenue now back off a little bit, and they're playing it much more passive, which gives an opening for Leisure to take it where they want. They have got 2 smokes to play with as well. And the bomb outside of A, there are 3 players from the Axis side over there. So it might be worth considering maybe making that rotate. Doesn't look like they've a read just yet. Lowy gets lit up, has to tuck in the corner, and Looney falls. This is huge for Leisure.
Yeah, they had a player also working his way up into the house, so they had a perfect split pretty much onto the player who's trapped in that corner. So great work now putting it into a 4-on-2. Both the remaining players actually in towards the spawn alley right now, and it's not a great position to be coming in from together. That smoke towards the bomb site to try and block off the player that they do know is towards that position, but they just have so many angles to try and deal with. And it's Fuckerman takes himself a quick headshot, strafes out then to take the second on the CDE. And Leisure will find themselves a 3rd round. What are they aiming for right now? Did they need to find the remaining rounds in this half to be happy? Or could they be okay with 3? Would they be looking for at least 1 more? What is their goal right now?
But you know what, team? With that fucker finding 4 kills, they're feeling pretty good.
You're
about
just
the
loving that you can say this.
7-5. What do you mean?
You just feel like you're sitting at home on the
name.
couch. This is how you just speak in general.
That fucker's found 4 kills, I tell you, Dean. No, but like 7-5 is a pretty... It's an okay scoreline for Leisure if they can manage to get there. It's going to be hard. Adamello is starting to take out Chicken Hut, and I like that. I really like that position being pulled out late on because you're going to stop thinking about it. But the thing is, you still need to sell a comfortable B site defense. If you're not defending B in roughly the same way, you're going to end up in a position that you just get pushed out on. And they kind of figure out, okay, there's something going on. They'll check it when they get the heebie-jeebies. Now, it's a 2 versus 4 after the kills we saw going down towards A. You've got Avenue with advanced control of the A site. As Leisure come in, they should be starting to think, okay, we're getting no contact. Nobody's peeking windows. There's a guy coming in through connector. And Adamello's shown his hand very early on. But it doesn't matter. It's a 1v3. So he wants to get out there and be proactive to make sure that Mylant is left in the least possible position.
Yeah, you don't want to take the risk there. You let your teammate die, and then maybe they actually check that corner and
Yeah.
take you down without you being able to do anything at all. At that point, then it could have been a 2v2. So understandable, he takes that peek, takes 1, and of course now, as you said, Mylant all alone. There's not going to be a lot that he can do unless really Avenue give him those opportunities to win out the fights, which won't be allowed. Adamello did peek in from heaven, but he also had a player from behind, so wasn't really too much of a risk. 8-3 now. Leisure, their economy not looking great. 4 tokens on average. They have 5 on towards Reese. I think he actually had 6 as donated over a couple so that he can spread out the love with the rest of his team. But I mean, we aren't really getting to see Leisure being able to pull out any nades or anything, which is a bit of an issue. That's how Avenue find these opening kills the majority of the time.
Yeah, it is starting to look very one-sided towards the Avenue end of things. Now, they're on the defense, and things can always switch over. When you swap, if you're feeling comfortable right now, you're building up those rounds, and then you go to attack and you don't find the first 2 or 3, you can start to maybe get in your head a little bit, but these are all very experienced players. I mean, Avenue, a name that's been in the game from day 1, as well as every single name that we see there. They aren't the kind of guys that are going to be thrown off by something like that. You're really looking for a reason to feel good about Leisure, and for us, they need to show us it right now. It's in the last round of the half as they look towards the B side again with the bomb, but spreading out. One player outside A, and the tank control attempted to be taken by Myland right now. He's got a smoke that they can throw in towards the connector. The only issue with it is if they throw it in the arch, Lifer, I think, would still be able to get a decent enough angle to fight out of.
I mean, even if they block them off, he could maybe just try and spam in to see if he could get the bomb plant. But as I say, that headbanger, he actually found himself an opening kill, even as the I in his name right there, Mitch. So I don't know what you've been looking at. Looney, CDE, and then Adamello hopping in, takes himself too, does some damage onto Fuckerman and forces him back off towards Long. And in the meantime, Lowy coming in and finishing it off. That was a convincing round right there from Avenue. Only losing that one player, being able to pull it back perfectly once that B hit came in. And that's a 9-3 half for Avenue. I mean, 3 rounds for Leisure, it's not great. They're going to need to get off to a great start here on the second half and really get the momentum going. Because as we said, even though it is an Axis-sided map, we would favour Avenue coming into this series. So I'd imagine a team that's been able to practice a lot. They've been together a lot longer. Leisure, I believe, just mostly been a mix. So the Allied side here, I think we're going to see a lot more from Avenue than we did from Leisure.
I'll have to ask Mr. Production Man to just quickly open the scoreboard for me. Thank you very much, Mr. Production Dark. You can see that's such a close-knit performance from Avenue, and this is it. I wanted to see who was the... You can close the scoreboard now, Dark. People killing each other.
Over the scoreboard.
No, but the thing is, right, you've got a really tight-knit performance for Avenue. I wanted to see it because it doesn't feel like we were going to go, CDE, he was playing insane, or Lowy. Everybody was doing their job, and that exemplifies it perfectly. How do you beat this machine now on the attack when you know every single player is having a decent game? Lowy's cut out towards A. He shouldn't really get a whole lot done from here. He's going to be double peaked. He's stuck in that corner. They don't even allow him to regen up that health. Well played by Leisure to shut it down. They get a man advantage, but they are on the retake.
Yeah, that's the issue. At that point, Lowy, of course, was just a bit of a distraction to actually try and keep them away from B, which he done very successfully with 2 players, so we can be pretty happy about how that one went. Getting ready to try and peek in together. They had a player up in the broken wall as well. It was the double peek from Long rather that found the kill. Fuckerman going to be able to find himself one before going down. And with Rejects also joining in, suddenly it's all onto Looney. He's been playing well so far, but the 1 versus 2 is just a bit too much to ask of him. So Leisure, they will make that retake happen. And a very important round going to go in their favour for them to actually try and get some confidence now to kick off the second half. Because we know they're capable of it.
Bomb defused.
Okay, well, for Leisure, building it up, it's going to be a hard comeback to make happen. And I suppose we got to look down towards the... Well, we got to look at the top of the scoreboard. I mean, Fucker's got 12 kills. He's come in with an amazing start. He had one round in particular where he had 4, winning it over single-handedly for the team. And we saw some good, one thing we didn't touch on was like on the offense, you could see Leisure had got some good timings and some good nades. When Reese found the opening kill over towards the B site, a nade went into Dark and he pushed on the back of it. It was nicely coordinated because he would have found a player trying to evade that nade and taken the kill or getting tagged by it and then an easy finish off. But it doesn't serve them very well here, whatever practice they've put in as Myland falls and Avenue find an opening duel going their way. Thompson as well in the hands of Lifer. But they're all out of nades. No smokes for the Allied side right now. Even still, they're just taking the duels and winning them.
Yeah, very easily, apparently, as well. I mean, they haven't really been challenged. Fuckerman able to come in and get himself one. Almost the second, eventually finishes it off. Tapping the bomb for now, hoping to be able to base some players in. He is, of course, all alone. He needs to get himself, I believe it would have been the quad kill, but he wasn't able to make it happen. CDE alongside Looney in towards the spawn, ready in a position where they could, at the very least, trade each other out in that spot. So a good round from Avenue. I mean, a little bit awkward that they weren't aware of the fact that there could still be a player around that area. No one really being cautious of the flanking, because someone could have came in through the mid-connector even, for example. I'm not too sure if they had a player watching it, to be fair. They could have.
Yeah, I think they had a guy coming up through tables afterwards, through market, but the thing there was that he just stuck close to the wall, played it safe, played it calm, and came up around behind them. They didn't really think to clear it, and the timing worked out well for him. But the issue for Leisure is that yes, they came very close to winning that, but it was again on the back of Fucker finding 3 to 4 kills. He needed the 4K to win that round again, and you can't have that kind of pressure on a player. The Leisure are not performing on an individual level, and we need to see that from them. Otherwise, Avenue are going to walk away with this very easily. They're coming into this with the Car 98. They came into this with the Car 98K on CDE, but he's just been taken down by Rejects on the Gewehr. That's a fight I wouldn't have favored Rejects in.
Yeah, it should at least be retrievable.
Yeah, there you go. Looney's got it.
Yeah, so not the worst situation, but still with a man advantage, of course. Also not a great spot to be in. Reese attempted, I believe, to get in from heaven out towards the arch right there. Ends up actually getting caught rather in rotation. Perhaps not expecting Avenue to be committing quite as quickly as they did. Fuckerman pushing into the smoke, able to find one, but it wasn't quite before that bomb went down. So the bomb is still planted again. It comes into the retake now for Leisure, as Rejects is holding for that push into the house right now, but it doesn't look like he's really going to be given the chance.
No, as soon as he's spotted, he's going to be double peaked or just shot in the back by Looney, leaving it into a 3v2. And for Leisure, they're obviously going to go for this. They've got 2 Gavers to play with, and Headbanger is still in a nice position. Great shot on Delawi, leaving it into a 2 versus 2. They've got to regen up their health, which is going to cost them a little bit more time and give all the time in the world to Lifer rotating around. Mylan shouldn't have a lot to say about this STG. He's got the info on where both players are, but with 10 seconds left, no time now remaining, finds Lifer, goes back out, but unless he was being peeked right there, which would have been crazy from Looney, the round's all over. It's 11 on the board for Avenue. And with Mylan surviving at least an STG carried forwards, means that he can donate over some tokens and make sure everybody's buying up pretty. It's still not going to be ideal, because Avenue have got plenty of cash to play with as well, and they're right on the verge of taking this over the line. It's hard for Leisure to fight back at the moment.
Yeah, they've also still got that Car 98, of course, so that's going to be great for them trying to pick up those opening kills, because, as you said, not a great economy from Leisure. If they want to be getting those cars out, they'll have to sacrifice the utility. They'll maybe have to throw over some donations. So I don't really expect that to happen. You see an SDG coming out from Myland alongside a grenade, donates over what tokens he has remaining, and it should give them a pretty decent buy overall. I mean, it's not like it's going to be terrible, but at this point, they want everything they can to work with, because they're just about to face map point. Avenue 11-4, one more round. At that point, then the best Leisure can do is take an 8 in a row for overtime. So really, from now, this is where they need to start playing flawlessly if they want to make this win happen. Very little room for error.
Fucker took out the Car 98K. That costs him the ability to have an STG in the smoke. Jumping across there in middle, doesn't find a whole lot. Looks in grave again, not finding the frag as CDE opens it up on an 8 onto Myland. It's an STG at least to be recovered. It's a very, very small positive, though, for the defending side. They're a man down, now spread out a little bit further. Lowy almost finds another nade going in. Surely that doesn't find it. No, it doesn't. That's to Arch. Thought it could have popped in through dark, but Lifer finds it anyways and eliminates Reese. 5 versus 2 with Looney finding one elsewhere, and this is starting to get very dangerous for Leisure. I mean, they need huge individual plays, and the player they've looked to so far to make them happen is already dead. So it's all on Rejects, a 1v4. His position is over towards the tank, but look, they've overwhelmed the side. He has a nade, which he can maybe try to deny the plant with, but he gets taken down from the little window in dark, so it's not going to happen. 12-4. With, again, limited cash to play with on the Leisure side. They can take STGs, but not utility, and obviously that's such a pivotal part of the defensive side.
Yeah, they're going for the STGs onto a couple of the players at the very least. Reject's going to be pulling out a grenade, I believe. We also had a couple of smokes, or at least one being available. What exactly do they have is the question. Of course, looking at the scoreboard right now, you do see, as you said before, Avenue overall fragging very well, very consistently across the board, and Leisure at the moment kind of relying on certain players to bring that skill if they want to be able to win out these rounds, and it just hasn't been enough already. The B-bomb site actually fallen under the control, rather, of Avenue.
It's a very nice spam, but CDE returns it on the Headbanger. The problem with spamming so close to the wall, Mylan gets one onto Animello, but his teammate falls in the process. A very NA strat coming in from Avenue. Lob the smokes and just run on in, and it's working out perfectly for them. Feet spotted by Lifer underneath the smoke. He's now took down on the stairs, confident that they cannot push him without his teammates picking them up, although they're not currently in position to do so. This is it for Leisure. 2 versus 3. If they lose this, it's all over. STG doesn't find a whole lot. Jumping out there. What is that from Rejects? He actually finds the knife kill. Lowy returns it, though, and leaves it into a 2v1. Rejects has to win this out for his team. 12 seconds left. No time to play with. Avenue just tuck in and hide, and that is it. Avenue taking it over the line, and Leisure, man, oh man, that does not feel good for them. Not a great game. And Avenue come out with 13 rounds. And a Looney coming out on top. He had 18 kills going into that round. I didn't spot how many he got in it. He finishes with 18 as well.